Thank you for tuning in to the Afternoon Pint. This episode is sponsored by Camilla Najat of Exit Realty, Strategy Up Business Consultants, and ISS Atlantic Security Guard Services. Enjoy the show. Cheers!
Cheers!
And welcome to the Afternoon Pint.
Cheers.
I'm Mike Tobin.
I am Matt Conrad.
And who do we have with us today?
Today we have Ryan Keeping. I'm sure many of you guys know me as the guy that ran across Canada, probably.
Ryan Keeping, the man that ran across the entire country.
Yeah, that is me.
Insane.
Yes. You realize how incredibly massive the country is, and also how most of the country is nothing. There's like a few big cities and then just trees.
Yeah, right. And so did you like Trans-Canada Highway the whole way, or how did that,
For the most
how did
part,
this work?
yeah. So it kind of just was recreating, obviously Terry Fox, my biggest inspiration, recreating kind of his route. So went all the way from St. John's, Newfoundland, right down where his statue is, and then all the way to Victoria, British Columbia, finished at mile zero.
Yeah.
It was 98 days, and it was long days, a lot of running.
It's crazy.
98 days. Jeez, wow.
Like, when did you start running? Like, when did this become a thing that you wanted to do?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question people always ask. So I was always very passionate, and I always played sports. Like, I loved playing hockey, soccer, baseball, everything as a kid, but didn't like seriously start running until I was 25. Yeah. So I was kind
Which
of
really isn't that long ago.
No, like when I was running across Canada, it was less than 2 years I'd been running. So it was like I was kind of always the guy that, like, I think when I was 20 or 21, I went out and I ran a marathon. Now, horrible time, but I think I just did it because like I had a buddy that was doing it and I just went and did it. So I was always like athletic and could run, but I never did till 25.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Tobin, do you remember when we ran the Blue Nose?
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. Someone else made us do it.
You did the full?
Yeah.
We didn't do the full Blue Nose.
No,
but
we did like the bridge.
We did. We did the 10K.
The 10K.
Yeah.
And that was somebody else asked us.
You
to
didn't
do.
make it.
No, I made it.
No, you didn't. You dropped out.
I 100% didn't.
I should call. I wish I could phone a friend on the show. Did we?
I have the medal. I have the picture.
You got you left, came back. Didn't you cheat or something?
Are you nuts?
I
Seriously?
swear to God, you cheated.
I did not cheat.
Mark and I were going. I think it was Mark and I.
Yeah.
Like across the bridge. And like, I'm sorry. I gotta just. I'm pretty sure at some point he's like, "Where's Conrad?" And I was
lost
like,
you guys, but I 100% did not.
And you took
cheat.
the goddamn ferry.
Did you lose him?
Yeah, I
you
took
were,
the ferry.
You took the
You were
ferry.
behind or you were ahead? You lost him
Yeah.
because you were.
I was behind. No, 100% was behind.
No. All of a sudden he was gone.
Took the ferry.
And next thing you know, I seen this guy in a boat.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. I don't know if I saw him on a boat. That's a joke. I
was like, what the hell?
Did you finished it for real?
Yes.
I always thought you didn't.
No, I ran with my dad.
I thought you just met us for breakfast after, like brunch.
No,
'cause
I
we
ran
ate.
with my dad,
All right.
you moron.
All right, we're calling Walter.
Was this the beginning and the end of your running career all at the same time?
100%.
It was the end of
I
mine.
actually I actually went and like did Tabata training to like do this thing.
What's
'cause
Tabata?
Tabata training is this whole thing where it's like you like run really hard for like a minute and then you like walk for like a minute and then you run
Like
really hard.
interval training.
Yeah,
Intervals,
exactly.
yeah.
So like I did that, but it was I was the person who told me to do that was my I was rear-ended.
Yeah.
And it was my physiotherapist.
I thought you were going to say it was the guy that rear-ended you.
No, it was my physiotherapist.
You gotta start running.
You start running, I'm gonna hit you again. No, it was my physiotherapist. Like I got rear-ended, and so I definitely finished, but I finished slower because I was freaking injured.
Okay, you're injured. I'm sorry. I didn't
Still
know.
got it done though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I did it. I did it in 1:11, an hour and 11 minutes.
That's not
That's
for 10K.
amazing. I don't know
Yeah.
what I did it in.
It's not bad.
Yeah, but I can't remember.
10K, and I try to tell people all the time, any distance is a good distance. People say, I only ran a 10K. It's like, that's a fire distance.
That was a lot of
man.
running.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
But you know what the weird thing about running is, and this is why like I can admire like someone who's going to run like, well, first of all, running across the country is insane anyway. But anyone who just runs like even the Blue Nose, like the marathons and things like that, it is far. But like the mental focus it takes.
Yeah.
So I probably would have no problem running, a marathon if you told me to go out and run after a football.
Yeah.
Right. Give me a football and I'll run routes. I'll run nines all day, every day. Right. But I have an objective. I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah.
The minute I sit there and it's like, Matt, you're going to run 42 and a half kilometers, I'm going to go, oh my God, when's this going to get over?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and running is just incredibly boring.
Yeah, it is.
And it,
So you find it boring?
oh yeah.
Wow.
It's, I don't know. It's like, it's a do as much running as I do, you almost have to like love it and hate it at the same time.
Right.
Because I'm doing it so much that like, say in the preparation to run across the country, I'm running so much and a lot of it is quite slow because you're just trying to build your base. You're trying to run in zone 2 and just pretty much run to a point where you can run a lot every single day. Like when I'm running across the country, a lot of the time it's just very slow.
Yeah.
So you're bored the whole time, but I don't know. You just, I love it and I hate it at the same time. It's weird to describe.
Are you like a music listener or are you like the silence?
It depends. Like Canada was really weird because you're like 12, 14 hours a day. Like I was doing 75K a day. You run out of stuff to listen to. Like you can only listen to so many podcasts or motivational speeches or music. And then it's like, and then in a weird way, you almost like zone in on one song. And I just, you start listening to like one song all day.
Proclaimers 500 miles over and over again.
Kid Rock, Midnight Train to Memphis.
Well, that was the song, was it?
I listened to that song so many times. And the funny thing, I never listened to Kid Rock in my life.
Yeah.
My uncle came out. He drove the van for a few days with my dad, and I was out of music. This was like day 30. I'm like, oh, man, I need some songs. He's suggested
What
that.
a wild song.
And then I just, it would like put you into a flow state of like, it's just weird. It's hard to describe, but you're just, you know exactly what's going to happen in the song. You just zone out and you try to keep running.
Would have been way more fun if he was just like Celine Dion.
I know.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Oh, see, it could be. But the thing too, it's like, you couldn't really listen to Metallica all day because you're going to just burn out. You're going to run too fast. So you almost need something that's kind of slower.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
in a certain sense.
So
Keep
like
your
you said,
pace.
flow state. And I mean, that's the thing. Like you must feel almost like a certain kind of euphoria after running. Because I mean, I feel like if I do anything like enduring long enough, you start to almost, I don't want to say float, but you know what I mean? You feel a bit of a high.
Yeah,
Or,
it's
how do you feel inside after so long?
a
Like
runner. Well, the thing is, when you've done it that long, you don't really have a runner's high anymore.
Okay.
Like to do something like across a country and you're doing 75K a day. By the end of it, you're just, it's weird because you finish and you'd think you'd be like, man, I did it. Like, woo. You kind of finish and you're just like, well, of course I got here. Like it was so long every single day that like to do something like that is just, it's not even a physical thing.
It's a funny way to look at
it's
it,
just
yeah.
mental. It's like it's almost mental torture every day.
Fair enough,
And
yeah.
you just keep going and keep going and keep going. And I mean, obviously I had a reason why, like I was raising money for Heart and Stroke Foundation.
Yeah.
I dedicated the run to Terry Fox and my dad. So my dad has heart disease. And then obviously Terry Fox, biggest inspiration ever, greatest Canadian of all time.
Yeah.
Plus, like I had social media following when I was doing it. People were sending me crazy messages of support. But yeah, it's, I don't know. It's crazy. And then you finish and like that period of time went by so slow, but so fast.
Yeah.
It like felt like it took forever, but then you're done. You're like, oh,
It's kind of like, it was kind of like that COVID period where you're just like, it feels like forever, but it also feels like it's not.
and then you look back at it and you're like, did that even happen? Like,
yeah.
And it's like, for me, it's like some of it just feels like a dream.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of zoned out and you kept like, I remember like half of it. And then half the time you're just exhausted.
So when you start, I mean, you have like nearly 100,000 people following you on Instagram right now.
It wasn't that when we started.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like, so like, did you start your Instagram with like, you know, like everybody else, like 500 people kind of thing? And
Yeah. So to take it back, I guess this would have been when I guess like just turned 25. So I guess it would have been like summer, 3 years ago, I guess now. And so this is when I first started running, found the ultramarathon stuff, kind of started listening to David Goggins and these other like crazy people.
I listened to that whole book, man.
You know,
Like,
so I read the book, listened to the speeches, and that's when I had the idea. I was like, all right, I'm going to run across Canada. I guess mainly the idea for that came. I went down to the States.
So Goggins kind of expired it a little bit.
Yeah,
eh?
big time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I went to the States and I did my first ultramarathon. I wore a Terry Fox shirt and no one knew who he was.
Yeah.
They'd all be like, who's that on your shirt? Like one guy's like, what's that, your brother on your shirt? Like just, and I'm like,
wow.
You guys,
And he's such an inspirational Canadian figure.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I'm running across Canada. I want to do the whole thing dedicated to him, talk about how he's the greatest Canadian of all time, say do it for Terry, like just try to get people from all over to like remember him, respect him, learn about him.
You talk about your dad with heart disease. Now, is he still with us? Or is
He's still here. So he actually drove the van the whole time. Another crazy story, we can get into it, but yeah, so like when I started my Instagram, it was just my personal Instagram. I probably had 400 followers or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just said, I'm going to run across Canada, and it was like a year and a half of training. I documented a lot of my training, and it grew. And I think by the time I started to run across Canada, I might have had like 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
And within a week, I was at like 60.
Wow.
Like, I think there was one day I gained like 12,000.
And your dad was just
10.
game to kind of drive along with you. This episode is brought to you by Camilla Najat with Exit Realty Metro.
Camilla Najat is an experienced real estate agent who prides herself in finding the perfect home for her clients. Camilla can help you with a comparative market analysis to help determine the value of your home if you're planning on selling, or help you determine the going rate for the neighborhood you're moving into. She can also work with you at your pace.
You can reach Camilla by calling 902-880-8429 or email camilla@exitmetro.ca.
Also, you can find her on Facebook at Camilla Najat, Exit Realty Metro.
Yeah, well, my dad, the crazy story, I basically was like, I'm going to do this. Nothing's going to stop me. Like, this is my life. This is what I want to do with my life. I want to inspire people, motivate people, do content. Like, I quit my job, took out a line of credit, trained like a professional athlete.
What did you work for your job?
Construction, just construction work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so it was still a physical job too.
Yeah. But I just was like, this is my purpose in life. I don't care however long this takes. Like, this is going to be a career. I'm going to make money doing this. I'm going to motivate and inspire people. So for the Canada run, I had like no sponsors. And I just said, I'm going to do it. Like, my dad said he would come for Newfoundland. And then I had no idea what was going to happen after that. Like, I was going to have to try to find friends or people from Instagram.
Respect for doing Newfoundland first, by the way.
Yeah. It was.
You might. I'm
sucked,
surprised
man.
you
It
weren't
was-
done after Newfoundland.
It was. There was some. Like, I remember day 3, it was like freezing rain and hail all day, and I was soaked. And there's a video, you can see my face, my cheeks. I look like I got frostbite pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my dad was going to do Newfoundland, and he came out to do Newfoundland, basically realized, like, all right, my son is going to do this or die trying. He's like, I have to be there. So he basically called his boss and was like, hey, I have to, hopefully I don't get fired.
I have
but
to follow my idiot son across the country.
Yeah, like at this point in time, it was kind of blowing up. We were raising, like the followers were coming in, we were raising money.
So he starts to see that this,
So he
this
just
has a movement.
drove
Amazing.
the van for 98 days at like 7 kilometers an hour.
Anybody
behind
else
me
go with
every
you, or
day.
was it just you and your dad?
So my camera guy, another crazy story. I just had a buddy, and he was kind of into cameras, but like never had any experience, didn't do it as a job. He worked sheet metal.
Oh, yeah.
And I just needed someone. So we were kind of blowing up, and I call him. I'm like, all right, like, what do you make doing sheet metal? I'm like, I'll try to give you like 70, 80% of that. We were doing GoFundMe. So I was trying to get him his money, and like super crazy, but we bought him a camera, flew him out, and he was with us probably 60, 70 days, documented, did the YouTube videos. That's awesome. And it's like a guy that like his first day with us didn't even like first time ever holding a real camera.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to film it. So it was crazy to see his progress in the videos. And
You could do a studio documentary on him, and then like just documentary on the guy.
Documenting
first day
the documentary.
Yeah, just keep the levels going.
it's
forever.
crazy. But people like it was nuts. Like how this all came together, and like we got me who just started running. We got my dad who never crewed anyone in anything like this. We got my camera guy who doesn't know how to do like. We all came together.
Right. But that's how things
Just a bunch of unemployed guys running across the country.
things happen, man. Like
Like
it's awesome.
the crazy thing too is like, so I was raising money for Heart and Stroke Foundation. It was an 80-20 split. So 20% to fund the run, 80% goes right to the Heart and Stroke Foundation.
Yeah.
And like we finished the run, and I remember like made the donation, and I think I had like $116 left in my bank account. It just came out so like that it worked, and like in the last I think week we raised like $100,000. So if we didn't do that, I was like gonna be like a line of credit donating. Because it's expensive to go across a country and do this. Like I think it was like close to $50,000 it ended up costing.
And what were your big expenses? Just food and stuff?
food, hotel rooms,
shelter,
Hotel would be the biggest.
paying my camera guy. Like
Gas.
there was just gas. There was just so many things add up. You got to think like we're feeding me, who's eating like 5 people.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah, you're probably running so much you need to fuel it, right?
And then we're feeding my camera guy, my dad, and we were like flying out different friends to help crew different sections. So yeah, it was
What was the thing you ate the most?
ravioli, canned ravioli.
Canned
Chef Boyardee type of
ravioli.
thing?
I'll never eat it again. Well, I'll probably eat it again, but I haven't really had it since.
That's fair. Okay,
That's
that's
just your
legit.
goal fuel. Eh?
Oh, the thing is,
Just like straight out of the can. Kind of
my dad doesn't know how to cook.
Yeah.
So like he's not going to cook anything that's amazing.
yeah.
And then like when you get to Northern Ontario or these places, there's nothing.
Nothing.
So it's like we could buy like steaks
so
or something and try to
Northern Canadian
yeah.
highway.
So there would be like, oh man, it would be 300 kilometers of nothing.
And people don't know how like crazy that
So
highway is.
we just got like canned ravioli and canned Tim Hortons chili.
Any wildlife up there that you saw while you were
Couple
running?
bears,
I
yeah.
imagine. Yeah, you
Yeah, a
see
few
everything on
bears.
that highway.
But listen, my cousin and I drove up around Lake Superior there, and we actually almost hit a wolf. So like, legit,
you see,
I
it's
never seen a wolf. I was, bears, a couple moose.
Oh yeah, no, it's pure National
I'm sure there
Geographic
was so much more wildlife I
territory.
didn't see because I was just staring at my feet, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even the bear, I didn't realize there was a bear in the car. Went around the van and like slammed their brakes on. I'm like, what's that person stopping for? And you just see the bear run across the street, run back across. I'm like, first time ever seen a bear. That's crazy.
So you get through Ontario, and then you get to the flatlands.
Oh,
right?
God.
yeah. I mean, that must have been easier, but incredibly boring.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's when I did these things, I kind of went into this with the mindset of like every day could be incredibly horrible.
Yeah.
And no matter what, I'm just going to move forward. The 75-kilometer distance sounds crazy, but technically you could walk it if you had to.
Yeah.
Right.
It would take a really, really long time. But so when people say like, what was the hardest part or the easiest part or different, it was kind of all the same. It was all just like one task that you had to do. And
yeah.
I mean, like
Could
the
have-
prairies was flat, was boring. There was tons of headwind.
Yeah.
Northern Ontario was crazy hills. I mean, probably the easiest stretch would have been from the time I got into Ontario to like Toronto because there were so many people.
Okay, yeah.
Like
that kind of gives you energy.
there
in a
wasn't a
sense.
single step I took in Ontario by myself. There was always people with me.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
even
did people do the whole Forrest Gump thing and like start running with you?
people every day, man. Pretty much every, not at the beginning because Newfoundland and it was kind of just starting, but Ontario, we did a group run in Toronto and there was like 1,000 people that showed up.
Wow.
So when I hit big cities, I do 70K and we drive to like a park and do the last 5K.
So how are you managing that element while you were on the road? So did you you had folks doing your social media as well? Or was that you doing it?
For the first, until I got my camera guy, which he came like right before Toronto, it was all me. So I would be like running up the highway on my phone, doing my video on CapCut, putting the captions on stuff or doing the stories. I was trying to reply to everyone that was sending me messages. So it was like,
I guess that alone would keep the run like kind of occupied.
it was not. And then even sometimes like I'd be getting 4 hours of sleep a night because I'd be finishing and I'd be trying to answer emails. I'd be trying to do all the Instagram DMs and there's so many messages coming in. I'm trying to get content out. So it was like, busy.
And now, like David Goggins, I mean, the most horrific part of that whole David Goggins story is his feet, right? I mean, just running so hard and going so hard. What happened to his feet? I think that's one of the most terrible
The
parts.
crazy thing though,
Yeah.
I didn't lose a toenail.
No?
Oh, wow.
I didn't even really get a blister.
Oh,
What?
I mean, I had been running like crazy for, as I said, like almost 2 years leading up to it.
My worry.
What shoes were you
is
wearing?
that, you just deteriorate your
A
own
couple
body.
different brands. I started on one brand, went to another. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple different shoes, but like
where's these shoes deals coming up, right? Like, where are these shoes deals,
they
right?
just don't exist. I don't know.
Seriously.
Yeah,
jeez.
it's crazy, but yeah. So like the thing is, if I say you go to a trail run or whatever, you're up and down, jumping over stuff, like that's when you'd lose toenails. But on the road, like I wear something that's like a half size too big, and
Right.
you're not really crunching your toenails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I lost feeling in my heels.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Okay.
I couldn't feel anything in my heels. They were
Like
completely
days
numb.
on end, they're just done.
Yeah, they're just numb. Like the
yeah.
skin was like 4 inches thick. It was crazy. Like you tap them and it sounded like you were
You got like
tapping
hobbit feet.
yeah,
Straight up
It sounded
ravioli.
like you were tapping like a park bench, just like that type of noise.
Wow.
Because they were just it was
You just calloused up your feet.
yeah, and then for 4 months the skin was coming. It was gross. Like after it was done, it was coming off and like chunks and stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, like no serious issues with my feet other
Such
than
an interesting thing about adaptation when you think about it, though, how your body just adapted to that
that's
kind
the
of constant.
yeah. It's weird because almost the first 2 weeks was the hardest.
Yeah.
Because your body's in a certain way like kind of trying to shut you down.
Rejecting it. Yeah.
So it's like I remember there was a whole day, probably like day 7 or 8, where I just felt like I broke my foot the whole day. It was horrible pain.
Wow.
That lasted a few days and then it just went away. And like that issue didn't come back. You know what I mean? So it's like, what was that?
Yeah, you
Your
get like
body's
shin splints or anything like that.
rewiring
Like,
yeah,
No,
for
like
survival. That's
there was
amazing.
different issues that would come, but I kind of always knew And even when I was doing this, the weird part was when I felt good, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Because you know that the bad's going to come.
Yeah.
And then when you feel horrible, you're kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to feel better eventually. And it'd be every day. You'd be 12 kilometers in. You're like, oh, I feel like I'm going to die.
Yeah. Okay, so like the hardest part must have been the Rocky Mountains.
The hills, going up hills isn't bad. Downhill, horrible.
Bad on the knees?
Especially near the end. Yeah.
Downhill's
So,
bad. Yeah.
like, there was a certain point near the end where I was going up a hill faster than I was going down because I was hobbling so bad going down because it just was, everything was so sore, right?
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't like worst part, best part. I don't know. Like, I mean, the headwinds in the prairies was horrible because it was like
I thought that'd be the easiest
I thought
part.
it would
just
too.
in my brain, just because I'm like, it's flat.
it
It's easy. It's
should
like
be,
just-
but the way the weather patterns go, I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
about like 80% of the time the wind is pushing west to east.
Right.
So it would be like 60-kilometer headwind all day. So it feels like you're running on a treadmill.
Yeah.
So I had I remember my girlfriend, she came out, not my girlfriend at the time, my girlfriend now though. She came out and she had a speed work run or whatever she was going to do, speed session. And she was trying to do her speed session into the wind. And like, she was supposed to be running at whatever, 4 something a kilometer. And it was like 2 minutes slower she's running. And she's like, I don't know how you're doing this all day.
Yeah.
And she's running like, and it literally feels like you're being pushed backwards and you're trying to sprint through the wind and it's just not working. And it's
Interesting.
like horrible. That part was, because you just feel like you're getting
So
nowhere.
you're like, I was, wow.
That's an interesting thing, though, like, because, everyone thinks that, with athletes, like professional athletes, so that you always see them, like, running up hills and things like that. But apparently, like, go to Saskatchewan and run
go to
against the wind,
Saskatchewan
and there's your resistance training, right?
Oh, man, and it was cold, too. Like, I remember...
Yeah,
like,
when
time of year
was
was
it?
that?
What time of year? Wait, what were the months?
Well,
like
it was
the 3 months that you were gone?
I started April 1st in Newfoundland, which is like still winter.
Yeah.
So that was snowing and freezing cold the whole time. I remember, where were we? Edmundston, New Brunswick. It was like minus 18. That was in like May though when it was that cold.
Where?
Yeesh.
Edmundston, New Brunswick.
Was minus 18 in May?
What?
It's horrible.
Wow.
And the problem was the day before it was like 8 degrees, so I was like warm, had my just wearing a t-shirt, and then you wake up in the morning and you're like, what the fuck? You go outside and it's like headwind and you're just froze and like you weren't expecting. In Newfoundland, I just knew this is gonna be a shit show.
I would have expected that in northern Brunswick, but I guess I don't know.
It's cold, and then like,
I mean, it's cold, but I wouldn't have thought in May.
when's Father's Day? That's June, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember we did a video, like a shout out to my dad for Father's Day. And so the video, I'm running and it's like so windy and he throws me the microphone, I'm talking, we're in the video. But I just remember it was like, I think 5 degrees and like 70-kilometer headwind all day. And this is June.
This episode is brought to you by Strategy Up. Strategy Up is a business consulting firm led by Mark Zerka, who has over 20 years' experience in building commercial strategies that will up your game, organize your teams, increase your productivity, and grow your business.
Whether you're a construction company looking to grow your revenue or a busy restaurant owner just trying to keep the doors open, Strategy Up can help. Strategy Up's boutique-style consultations will help you improve business process across nearly any industry.
Being a successful entrepreneur does not mean you have to be an expert in everything. Strategy Up specializes in building a relationship with you. Once pain points in the business are realized, Strategy Up will introduce process and technology that will power up your game to the next level.
A successful business requires investment. Your next step towards growth starts now. Email info@mystrategyup.com for a free business discovery call. Up your game with Strategy Up.
Wow.
Like I'm wearing like 2 sweaters and like, I think I still have the clip, but I'm like trying to talk into the mic and all you can hear is just the wind going crazy. Like can't even hear what I'm saying. Basically, I'm screaming into this mic and it's just like that windy.
It's like the Blair Witch Project, like nose running.
Man, the wind is horrible.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. But we were talking a little before here that running across the country and everything, you got the attention of at the time our nation's leader of Justin Trudeau, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that was crazy. So when I finished, we did my final post and Yeah, he left a nice long message, and he's also sent. They sent me like a big signed, and it was a letter.
You will never afford a house.
But it's cool to like get recognition from.
Oh,
I mean, say what you want. The leader, of the leader of the country.
100%. Yeah,
I thought that was
really
pretty cool. But like, there was, man, that final post I made. I think there was maybe 3,000 people commented on it.
Wow.
Like the engagement was crazy. Every video I was putting out was getting like 100,000 views on Instagram, and so many comments. And like, for example, to show the support we had, there was one day we needed Gatorades, and we put a post out. Hey, can anyone bring us Gatorade? I think 800 Gatorade showed up.
No.
Whoa.
2 hours later, we had to put a post out and say, guys,
Stop
like if you're coming
Stop
with it,
giving us
bring it,
Gatorade.
but like, don't bring any more.
Yeah.
And like,
Crazy.
or food and stuff. I felt bad. We had to put a post and say like, don't bring any more food, because there was days where we were getting like 10 spaghetti dinners. And like, so we were like, had to throw some of it out. So we had to put a post out, like maybe like a gift card, gas card.
That makes more sense.
Well, because
yeah.
people were showing up to my, like people would figure out where my hotel room was, and people were knocking on the door and bringing spaghetti dinners and meatloaf.
That must be kind of weird, eh?
It was cool.
That's kind of awesome. I mean,
It's I think it's incredible.
Now, how could you not be connected with that movement to be following you and
like
and
the
wanting
amount of people too that
to
must
kinda
just
contribute.
still have my location. Because whenever someone would DM me on Instagram, hey, I want to run with you, I just get them to text me, and then I'd share my location.
Oh yeah.
So there's probably 1,000 people with my location indefinitely now that could
So
come
they just
find-
see you at big leagues right now. Like, well, he went
yeah, they
downhill.
just show up. But they're
Now he's just drinking at the pub.
people come to the hotel room. How did you? They're like, oh yeah, you sent me your location. I'm like, oh cool.
Awesome.
That's
okay.
crazy.
Nuts, man.
That is crazy. But that's kind of cool. Like, you really get to see and meet like, the people of Canada in such a positive way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people. I think in a certain way, people just needed something to like cheer for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And,
mean,
like,
positivity is, I think, that.
So it was
is
like, a lot of my videos, I had the Canada flag and the Terry shirt, and I believe Terry Fox is the greatest Canadian of all time. So I said that in most of my videos.
I think he was voted number one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cheers to Terry Fox.
Yeah, cheers to Terry.
Cheers to
Yeah.
Terry. Like what he did, and people don't realize how young he was. He's like 22 years old.
Exactly. He died when he was 23, I think.
Yeah. So it's
Like, that is crazy. I
people-
never thought about that in a long time.
like to be
how
that young
he
and do
is.
that. And then I mean, like I did the run, and I don't know how he made it up some of the hills.
Yeah.
Like
And how old were you when you did the run?
26.
That's still
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it with 2 legs.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
seriously,
the
when you think
crazy,
about that, right?
but back then too, it's
Yeah.
not like now, like where they got technology, and I'm sure you could have a decent running leg.
Yeah, of course.
Back then, is like the walking leg, like probably
Oh.
falling over all the time. I can only imagine, like,
100%.
No, I just
Just a hunk of wood.
The
then,
stump
pretty
would
well.
be
It was
like,
a pirate's leg.
Yeah,
Seriously,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
like imagine the chafing on the stump, and then also the crazy.
I do remember reading about that. He did comment about the chafing on the
and
stump.
then imagine his one hip would have been destroyed.
Yeah.
because he's double skipping every time.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like
He's only 22.
I mean, people don't understand. Like
Thinking about the gravity of just that alone.
I've
is
always said,
crazy.
they have to make like a movie about him that's in the theaters, like a actual movie. You know what I mean? Like we have there's some movies like the CBC one or whatever, like, but they need one that's like high budget. Like,
Yes.
people need to know this story
No, I agree.
because it's the craziest. Like what he did, and then it shows like doesn't matter how long you live. If you live, you can make a huge impact. He just did. He knew he had to do that.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, I think it was his original goal was to raise $1 million.
Yeah.
I think he actually fell short of that, obviously, because he passed away like before really completing it. But when you think about his legacy,
It's almost
that he
$1 billion.
left.
I think
It's almost $1 billion.
$1
So
that the foundations raised. So
That's
I mean,
huge.
it's a sin that he died, and it's. I mean, who knows? Like doing that run, did it take time off his life? Like I don't
Possibly.
know. I bet it probably did.
Probably was a little taxing on your body.
Yeah, and
'cause
like
your
it
body
probably
wants to repair
Well,
itself.
and the crazy thing too is like he had cancer when he's doing it.
Yeah,
he didn't
exactly.
know he did, but it's like for that to get diagnosed, then he probably had it the whole time.
Yeah,
Right.
If not, it would have developed.
What part of the run was he diagnosed with cancer?
Oh, that's when he had
he
to
stopped.
stop.
He had to stop because he was having
That's
issues.
why he stopped.
It moved to his lungs.
So
right?
basically, he he had cancer until it moved to his lungs. Is that right?
Yeah, and it's like, how you breathing?
Yeah, seriously.
You know, so I guess he was like coughing up blood, and
Yeah.
so it was Thunder Bay where he had to stop.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, he made it up all those crazy hills in Ontario. Like if he 100% would have made it if that cancer didn't come back and ultimately take his life. But Yeah, and then it's also for me, it's like there's no position to complain, or it's like if I'm having a hard day, like, man, I'm healthy. I got 2 legs. I got all the support. Like, I have nothing to complain about. Think about the pain he was in.
No, it's true.
It's definitely more than the pain I was in.
It's definitely good to bring into perspective like how lucky we all have it sometimes, right?
Yeah, and it's like after you do something so crazy, like run across the country, it's like there's no bad days anymore.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like imagine it's after you've ran for 14 hours a day for 98 days in a row. It's like, what's a long day?
Right.
You know what I mean? Or even I can go do these 100-mile races and stuff now, and it feels a lot less because you're like, man, I struggled for 98 straight days, like minimal sleep.
Yeah. So going back,
Running all day.
before the Goggins book that kind of inspired you a little bit, and before that, did you feel a little bit lost in yourself? You know, you were doing construction, you said. Like, did you just feel like you just didn't have any direction in life, or what was going on then?
Yeah, so like I'm the type of person where I kind of need an obsession.
Okay.
Like I need everything I do, I'm going to do pretty hard.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So it's like, I remember like playing team sports as a kid, then that finishes and you're like, oh, what am I, like, you don't really have anything. You can go play like beer league hockey, but you can't try hard.
Right.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like if I'm not going 100%, I don't really want to do it.
Yeah, the guys in beer softball leagues that try super hard.
That'd be me.
They're the worst.
That's why
They're the worst ones to play with. Because I'm like, I'm just trying to drink beer and not do anything too difficult. And you were making this game not fun with your home runs and your anger.
That's why I just don't play. Like I only do running.
Yeah.
I don't play others. I just go too hard. There's something I just can't not
awesome.
try hard.
So you're an animal and you need to find something to do with it. Yeah,
so I think I just, and in a weird way, I kind of always felt like I was destined to do something huge. Or like really help people. I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And then it's like, that's why as soon as I found running, I was like, oh, like everything else in my life is temporary. Like I might work another job or I might do that. But like my ultimate goal is to do these crazy runs, motivate and inspire people, have millions of followers.
Yeah.
Like, and it's even with the Canada run, like that was just the first time I'm going to do. Like I said, like, what's the best way to learn how to run across the country? You run across the country. Yeah. Like I'm going to do crazy challenges.
So you have a run in mind. So you're going to do this again.
I'll be doing Canada again. I'll be doing the States eventually. I'll like name a crazy challenge. I want to try to do it.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of just trying to figure out like what is the most beneficial.
Yeah.
Kind of pick and choose these challenges. But yeah, like I got tons of time. I'll be doing this till I'm 50.
How I first heard about you was my wife actually like talked to me about you, and she was like, "Yeah, did you hear about this thing?" And it was funny. I almost kind of like forgot about it, and then we were getting it on the podcast. And I was like, "Yeah." So we're getting Ryan Keeping on the podcast. Do you know? And she was like, "Yes, I told you about him."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh yeah,
yeah."
So she's been following along like for a while now and everything, and but like my wife's not a runner, but she's a really avid hiker.
Okay.
Like, and she likes to challenge herself every summer. She's a teacher, so she's off, right? So she likes to challenge herself every summer to a really like intense hike where she's gone for like 4 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, camps, all that stuff. Like she has all the equipment, the lightweight stuff, the tents and everything.
Oh, damn.
So, but she has a couple goals. So I think she can kind of like relate to this. I think that's why she like relates to your account and everything, is because she wants to do Everest Base Camp.
Ooh.
And she wants to do another one that she's been talking about a lot lately. Is she wants to do I can't remember the name of it. Oh, the Pacific Trail.
Okay.
Which is from the Mexico border to the Canadian border on the West Coast.
Let's go.
Right?
That's awesome.
That's what she wants to do at some point in time.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
the good thing is she's a teacher, so she actually has summers off.
She got summer. She can
So
go
she
do
can
it.
actually do those things, right? So yeah, she wants to do base camps. Like this year or this coming up this summer, she's doing something in Cape Breton where like it costs $1,500 to go because you have to bring a guide, and you go from Pollard's Cove up to Meat Cove, right through the like deep wood of Cape Breton, right to the Highlands.
Yeah.
So I can get like, I can see that kind of thing where it's like you want that challenge. It's like, what's the next thing I'm going to check off, kind of thing. So it's kind of cool, like But like, is it just running? Like, is like hiking would be like that type of thing be challenging to you at all, or is it interest you at all?
It's kind of anything I do. So I try to tell people too, like, it's not that like I just love running. That's just how I express myself now.
Yeah.
So it's really like I've just chose to get as good as I possibly can at running. But it could have been anything.
Yeah.
But it's like in order to like for me, I kind of have to solely focus on running because like you can be good at a bunch of stuff, but if I want to be like one of the best or you know, as good as I can possibly be, I kind of have to just laser focus in on running.
I'm just going to give him a stupid challenge. I want him to be the first person to run up Mount Everest.
Run up Mount Everest?
I'm going to put that in his brain, and now he's going to obsess about it.
Or run to the North Pole. Right?
Yeah. that'd be
Find
crazy.
Santa or a Russian submarine. Right? Either or. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that'd be cool.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, the thoughts are endless.
The
with
cool,
you. It's
yeah,
like
there's endless challenges.
It's
is
a
the cool
sandbox
part.
at this point.
Well,
right?
it's even like I just went and did Florida. Like I ran the entire length of Florida in 10 days, 752 kilometers.
Amazing.
And people ask like, "What? Why there?" Well, I don't know. I just picked it.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to do something solo, so I did this one completely self-supported.
Yeah.
Just wore a backpack. It was actually a school book bag. It wasn't anything fancy.
Did you get sponsors with this one or
No,
no? Just kind of did it for just to feel
It
good.
was all off my own line of credit.
Yeah, you were saying you went down and like, you know, you had some random people pick you up and
Yeah. People help. Yeah.
No one
through
murdered
social-
you.
No.
Yeah.
No. I heard there's some pretty crazy parts of Florida too. You got to be
Yeah,
careful.
yeah,
with some of those
exactly.
places.
Gators.
Yeah.
I was by the water the whole time, which
Yeah.
like you kind of find in Florida, anything by the water is nice.
Yeah.
And then probably more inland might be
Okay.
not the nicest.
You
But
get
for
to-
me,
yeah.
I ran through basically only nice. Well, there's a couple sketchy spots, but nothing like. Most of it was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those Jacksonville Jaguar fans are pretty out there. So, I mean, you know, you had to go right through there.
Jacksonville was one of the spots where I ran through a sketchy area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Do you have that on your thing? On your Instagram?
There'd be videos of me in Jacksonville. Yeah,
Yeah? Cool. I gotta check that out,
I
man.
remember I usually I'll take a break, say every 5-10 kilometers, something, sit down, eat a bit, drink whatever. And there was a spot in Jacksonville where it was pretty sketchy. So I think I had to run for like 20 straight kilometers. I was like, I really love a drink right now, but I don't know. So I'm just going to keep going here.
So did you go all the way down to the Keys?
Yeah, so I, right to the start of the Keys is where I stopped. I wanted to do all of the Keys also. It's expensive though.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
To get hotel, because I
Yeah.
was just like staying in really shitty motels.
Right.
Like I was going on Expedia. What's the cheapest one? Stay there.
So why Florida?
Well, I wanted to do something solo, and I'm also obviously trying to grow my state's audience because
Yep.
there's just so many more people, right?
That's right,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
have almost 100,000 followers here now, and I think like 95% is Canada.
Right.
So I'd love to grow into the states, and you kind of have to if you want to take things to the next level, sort of.
Yep.
So I just picked Florida, and I mean, Florida was good because the whole thing's populated.
Yeah. It's warm.
Like it's warm, so I didn't have to worry about. It was pretty easy. Like
You could just do a running from ice run. Start in New York City and just see how far you can
Ryan
get.
runs from winter.
I do.
No, I mean the immigrant. A lot of people down there.
ice, that
yeah,
ice.
sorry, that
Yeah.
ice. Sorry.
Yeah.
I do hate winter. I must. Well, it's okay to run in, but everything else is just freezing all the time. It's
I like how you went with like the immigration services, and I went with like Ryan runs from
a
winter.
lot of people down there are getting detained and stuff. A lot of Canadians. Sorry.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a joke.
See,
That wasn't
everyone
very
had all this.
well put together.
Everyone was saying all this stuff like about
Yeah.
how I needed to be so worried to go to the States. And I mean, my experience was like to get across the border. What are you doing? I'm running the entire state of Florida. Oh, cool. Let me through. I went there. Everyone in Florida loved me. They loved the fact I was from Canada. They're, oh, we love Canadians.
Right.
Came home, had no issues. So I think a lot of times, like, people are just people.
Yeah.
No,
You know what I mean? Like, it's all this division and stuff. But
I think it's a tough year.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a particularly tough year.
Yeah.
Like I have family in Colorado. I go there. I've been there, and
Yeah.
I think, but this year I was a little apprehensive.
Yeah,
we,
it's just-
we changed our family vacation.
it's weird
Right?
times now, but hopefully
Yeah.
things boil
Even still,
over.
though, but like you said, people are people.
Yeah.
And you know what? The thing is that the issues that we're really having are with governments.
Yeah, it's not everyday
not
people.
the
Right.
people.
That's 100% right.
Yeah, so
Totally. It's a total problem with just what the leadership is saying down there to do.
And I even found like I got some. Like I decided to do this Florida run probably 2 weeks before everything went crazy. So
Yeah.
I'd obviously booked my flight and a few hotels and stuff. And then like I actually lost followers going there. Like I was hoping it would work, and it didn't really seem to hit the algorithm in the States. So it was all the Canadian people, and then Canadian people were mad at me because I was in the States. And there was people like commenting. A couple comments. Someone was like, "Terry Fox would have never went to the States under these times," and then people are like,
What a bullshit thing to say.
I have challenged that.
And then everyone's like, "I can't believe you're going to Trump's America," and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just a runner, guys.
But maybe
like,
people thought it was politically motivated
I
or
don't.
something.
It's
right?
yeah, but it
I
was
don't
like
know.
Listen,
I
Donald
just
Trump didn't send you a nice little signed thing.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just went to to run. I got some blowback on it, but
Whatever.
really, you just keep going.
Yeah.
That's
if people want to get mad about that, it's like, sorry,
No,
guys.
I'm mad about that. That's not fair.
Everything was booked. It's like,
mean-
people are like, oh, you got to cancel. I'm like, well, no, I'm not going to.
I didn't know
cancel.
some guy was going to start a trade war.
Yeah, so, and if anything, it's like it almost can kind of bring the countries together in a certain way of like showing, like I went there, I had support from people. Like there was, I remember going to, I had to get from Jacksonville to the border, and on my Instagram, some lady came and picked me up and drove me to the border. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
it's crazy.
support, or even like a guy came and finished the run with me. Like the last night when I did like 109 kilometers to finish, so I finished like 2 a.m.
Okay.
So he
wow.
came and ran with me at the end. So it was like tons of support from people, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people just want something to believe in, no matter if you're Canadian, American, whatever, whatever. People just want something to believe in.
I think too, like the best way to inspire someone is to just chase your passion as hard as you can.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. It's like I like Kobe Bryant. I
Mm.
don't care about basketball. I just like that he was crazy and he pushed the limits as far as he could.
Yeah, he's a psychopath.
So
right?
it's like you like seeing people just
the same as Jordan. Like, in the day,
you like
right?
seeing people
it's just
push
like,
for
oh,
it.
wait.
And it has nothing to do with running or basketball or whatever it is. It's just you're like, okay, that guy is intense. I like that.
Yeah, that psychopathic like mentality, right? Like Tom Brady. I'm a big Patriots fan, so Tom Brady has that like, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to study, and I'm going to know everything better than you, and I'm going to come more prepared than you.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. I love that Jordan documentary because Jordan just like sometimes
was the same.
purely willed
Yeah.
winning, right?
It's like say what you will about him, but he's a winner.
oh yeah,
it's
Jordan's
like
known to be an idiot,
to
like known to be a
win,
jerk, right?
It's almost, it is tough and certain, like to be that good at something, you almost have to suck at everything else. Like,
yeah,
you know, it's like you see Tom Brady or whatever, his wife leaves him and all, but it's like he's probably so obsessed with football, like it doesn't leave much time for other things.
Yeah, he totally
In
lost his
certain-
marriage over football.
You know what I mean?
right?
But it's like, well, he probably wouldn't have been the best ever if he didn't go that far into football. So it's a,
that's
a
true.
weird
a
way
tough-
to try to balance
Yeah.
and not let things ruin your life.
Man, I'm reading.
all I'm hearing right now is that like Ryan's like the goat at running, I guess.
Yeah.
that he's comparing himself to the goats.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Not currently, but trying to get there one day.
There you go.
That's-
I like that.
It's everything in life takes time, and I mean, if you want to be the best runner, well, you can only get so good in a few years.
Yeah.
But give things 10, 20 years, and
Are you trying to sign up for like a bunch of different like those like well-known famous marathons and things like that?
I'd like to. They're expensive though, man.
You definitely people need sponsors and stuff. for them, it
Yeah,
seems.
like I want to do a 200 miler this year, and they're like $2,000.
Wow. Okay.
And then by the time it's like you got to fly there, you got to stay there.
Yeah, no, you're
you
in
got to
for a
bring a
lot.
crew with you. So it's like you end up spending $5,000 on
yeah.
5 days.
So the other thing too is like like if you have you ever heard of the Compostelle, like the pilgrimage that goes from like the border of France, like, and it goes all the way over to Spain? Have you heard of that?
No.
So it's this pilgrimage that people go, and generally people walk it, but like, and there's hostels and things like that along the way. But it's something like, I don't know. I think it's like, I could be completely wrong on this because it might be more, but Europe's not that big, so I think it's like 900 kilometers.
Yeah, makes
But
sense.
most people walk it, but like, I think it'd be kind of a cool thing because it's supposed to be like a religious experience.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like that's something that I think could be definitely on your radar. That could be, and I think that's something that you could probably do for pretty inexpensive because like because it's like a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people along the way that actually help out. Kind of thing, right?
I'm a little different from the running thing. I think you should take up a pogo stick or something like completely different.
Pogo
right?
stick?
Yeah, I'm gonna pogo
stick 100 miles.
Yeah,
There you go.
My way right through Cairo. Yeah. Something.
I'm gonna pogo to the top of the pyramid.
I would watch that.
Oh, I'd watch it.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, of course.
Man, I wonder how long a pogo stick a marathon on.
Yeah.
Damn, it'd take a while, I bet.
Yeah.
By
pretty
the end,
cool.
you'd be falling over, you'd be tired.
My goal now is to get you researching pogo sticks tonight. They're fascinating devices.
I've never done
right?
one. I'll try it.
It's a peak of athletic performance. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Speaking of pogos, we actually did something kind of fun today.
Yeah.
So this will already be out
This
on
we aired.
Instagram
Yeah,
by
we already
now.
did Instagram.
By the time this gets out, because I think our episodes are we're
Or like
in
a
the-
month ahead.
Yeah,
or-
we're almost a month ahead now. We're over a month ahead.
Yeah.
I can't even tell. But yeah, so what do we do, Matt?
So today, we did a little bit of a collaboration with Afternoon Pint that we kind of arranged with you and a friend of the show, Chip at 3 Overs Daily. And we did this Sponsored by 3 Mile Outfitters. So we did a 3 mile run where you were training Chip to run, and it was hilarious and a bit of a disaster. But we had to put in some things there to kind of like level the playing field, because obviously you're a much better runner than Chip.
Yeah.
But one of the things was eating a pogo, not the bouncy pogo, but the Korean. So Kong Dog actually donated these Korean pogo corn dog
Massive
things.
hot dogs.
Huge. Delicious, by the way.
They're really
If
good.
you're in the area, where is it? Downtown Halifax, right?
No, that's not on the Bedford Highway.
Bedford Highway.
Oh, I'm thinking of it. Okay.
There is another one there.
Okay.
Yeah, there's. I don't know if it's Kong Dog, but it's another thing that's like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
No, they're delicious, though, man.
They were great, but go and check that out, obviously, because that was a really fun experience.
It's a month later now. Chip might be recovered.
Yeah. We also
Maybe.
did Street Caesars right outside of where we're
Street
recording
Caesars.
today.
Yeah.
They're spicy.
Spicy Street Caesars right outside of Big Leagues here.
That's right. So we're at
And,
Big Leagues.
forgot to
We're having
say where
beers.
we were.
Ryan, so that's something you don't drink.
No, I'm drinking my energy drink.
Yeah. So you're like you're straight edge, right?
Yeah.
I guess you'd call it that. It's like I don't have anything wrong with drinking. I just, in the same way I run, everything I do, I want to do full out.
fair. Whatever.
So
Right.
it's like for me, it's to drink a few beer doesn't interest me. I would just end up drinking 15, and it's not.
So you're
get
like,
that? Okay.
yeah,
in order to run, it's you don't want to be hungover, and it's. Yeah,
Right.
I probably haven't drank in 2.5, 3 years.
Well,
now.
you're not running. Are you training to be just ready to go for the next run? Like, are you going to the gym daily now?
Yeah.
Or doing everything
I
just
run
to keep in tip-top shape?
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, run every day, and I go to the gym 2 or 3 days a week. So yeah, it's my whole life is like I'm training like basically like a professional athlete would be.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
training as if this is it kind of is my job. It's
Yeah, exactly.
not making enough to. You're definitely living off the line of credit currently, but I'm kind of, banking on the future and trying to just do big runs and keep training.
Yeah, keep
Aside
going.
from the next massive expedition, I'd love to see like some tutorials.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm bad with multi-syllable words sometimes. But I'd love to see some training on like how people can get started, how people could do this if they want to do it.
So I've actually just started dropping a lot more like tips type content and like kind of showing how I'm training. And so actually I've partnered up with a trainer. First time ever, really. I did everything prior just by myself. So kind of I wanted to get my mental as good as I possibly could and kind of peak and almost plateau before I started tweaking everything.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
currently I started working with a trainer and seeing big results, and we're posting a lot more training content now of
That's good, yeah.
kind of what I'm doing in the gym, what I'm doing with my runs. So
Yeah, I mean, we had a past episode where we had this kind of phenomenal story about this guy Derek. Had a wicked weight loss, phenomenal weight loss, right?
He lost like 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And this guy Rick the trainer that kind of helped influence him and get to
Okay.
there, right? Like,
Yeah.
so we had them both on the show. It was a really cool episode. And I mean, I could totally see you doing that. Are you planning to kind of do any kind of coaching to get other people
eventually, yes.
motivated?
Yeah. It's kind of something that's in the works now. And for the longest time, I'm not weird about it, but like I believe the most important thing is to just kind of get started and just go do. Like I ran across Canada without even really having a trainer.
Yeah.
Right.
But I've kind of realized I'm a unique person where I
Yes,
don't.
yeah, that's not normal,
I don't
right?
need.
I mean, respectfully.
I don't
Yeah.
need accountability because I just go do it.
Yeah.
So that's something we're working on. So I'm working with my trainer, and we're gonna hopefully be doing some coaching and some programs and stuff like
You
that.
guys totally
so,
should, because I think people will
Yeah.
be receptive to that, right?
Yeah, because
And,
the biggest thing is almost more accountability than anything. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And a lot of people just kind of need that accountability or a way to get started. So yeah, it's currently something we're working on, but yeah, so that's going to be coming in the future.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, cheers to you, brother. This
Yeah,
was a
cheers.
really
Yeah,
cool
cheers.
conversation.
So,
and,
yeah.
That's fun.
Before we move over 10 questions, I want
Okay.
to ask Ryan, we have to. The listeners will want to hear it.
Okay.
I want top 3 craziest things that happened on your journey across Canada.
Oh man, top 3 craziest.
Craziest people, craziest stories, whatever. Just something to
Top three's heavy, so if you just got one,
If you got one, that's fine,
One,
but-
that's cool. But if you want to give us 3, we'll
Man,
hear
there's
them all.
So many. I guess I can't really talk about craziest people because they might be watching this.
Oh, give us one crazy person.
Give me one crazy person. Names left.
Well,
out.
I can say, like, through doing this, eventually we kind of stopped staying with random people.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, we were staying on coaches, and
Yeah.
sometimes
You got like a baby reindeer thing going
people
on?
don't understand that we need to sleep,
Oh, yeah.
and they just want to talk.
Oh, yeah.
And like we're at their place, so like if they're sitting in the bedroom with you and you're trying to be like, I need to go to bed, and it's like 1 a.m. and they're asking you questions about like how many pairs of shoes did you wear and all this stuff. So eventually we had to just kind of be like, okay, we're just gonna get hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Right.
Crazy, man. Well, I guess the craziest weather would have been Newfoundland, and there was days where it was just miserable. Like you'd have to go back and look at my Instagram, but horrible weather. Like that would have to be a crazy one of like.
Any stalkers?
Not that I know of.
No? All right, okay. You know what? That's awesome, though. Like, if you've had a pretty relatively normal experience,
There's
that's
been a
awesome.
lady staring at us the entire time.
Yeah, I was like, there's someone out there. She just hit when we pointed her out.
Yeah.
They all have your tracker. They're tracking you anyway. So.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
Top
man.
three is crazy.
Ran into a bear. I'd say that would be somewhere up there.
There's so many things that happen. Like we had some guy at a bar try to fight my camera guy in like Northern Ontario for no reason
Really?
because he parked out front.
Too much to drink. Yeah.
Anyway, just like random stuff like that happening, or like my dad went for a run one night when we were done, and me and my camera guy fell asleep in the Airbnb we were at, and like it was locked, and my dad couldn't get in, so then he just like slept in the van. Or like multiple nights of like just my dad getting no sleep because he's running around trying to get every like laundry done and this and that.
Right.
Or one day like we did all of our laundry and then the drying machine didn't work.
Oh,
Like the laundry machine,
so
so everything was soaked, so we had to hang it in the van.
Okay.
Or like in the prairies, we had a tick problem in the van
Oh.
because I had a bed that I'd lay it on the ground and stretch every morning, and ticks got on it. So then my camera guy'd be like editing, and the tick on his ear or on his arms and stuff.
Brutal.
Almost got arrested in Quebec, like kicked off the highway. I guess you weren't allowed to run on the highway I was on. And whole crazy story there, but like ended up in cop cars, and
You ended up in a cop car in Quebec?
I actually didn't. My girlfriend did.
Oh, she just go wild on him or what?
No. So the thing is, in the back of the van, like my camera guy'd be back there, but there wasn't a seatbelt or seats or anything. So everywhere else, the cops were like, "This is fine, whatever."
Right.
In Quebec, they hated us for some reason.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm running on the highway, probably 3 kilometers. There's this one stretch, or else I have to go like 20 kilometers around.
Right.
So I'm running on this 3 kilometer stretch, and as I'm going off the ramp to get off it, there's like 6 cop cars show up. They get out of the car. Oh yeah, it was crazy. I think they're just trying to prove a point. So they come out and they're freaking out and whatever, and then they realize that like there's no room in the van for my camera guy, or like girlfriend's there, and so she has to go into the cop car, and then they like drove us all around. It ended up taking like 2 hours, and then I ended up running until, I don't know, 1 a.m. that night. Had to get up at 5 the next day. Just crazy stories like that. Like the van broke down a few times and just had to keep going. People came on the side of the road and fixed the van with us, and I had to run like 30 kilometers alone. No food,
Just catch up to you, eh?
Yeah, they catch up to us. And so it's just, there's so many stories. And if anyone's listened to this, like we did YouTube videos from each province, so go back and watch them. But like there's
Cool. Like,
wild stuff
that's good.
happening.
Yeah,
You just gave us 8 stories.
you gave us. Yeah, that's good.
That's awesome.
But the tick problem in the van, that sucked.
That'd be a really horrifying experience. That could be that could be an episode for sure. Right. So you're gonna make a book? Are you working on a kind of memoir? Or
I
anything
will
like that?
eventually, but I want it to be like a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I want it to almost like a David Goggins, where it was like 15 years of time.
Right.
I could have ran across Canada and made a book, but for me, I just want that to be one chapter.
Right.
Because I plan on doing so much big stuff that I'd rather put a book out and have it be a bestseller, millions of sales, instead of like do it now and have 1,000 people buy it. You know what I mean?
I hope that happens, and I hope we get to say, "Oh, we had that guy on our podcast."
Yeah, exactly.
I'll come back on back then.
Come back on, shoot
No,
it,
but like I kind of think if I can do enough undeniable stuff, run across the country again, do this, do that, eventually people are gonna follow him. Like it's like
Or you'll die. One of the two.
Yeah,
one of these.
It's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Yeah, that's reality.
But it's like one thing after another after another. One of them's gonna, like, I gained 60,000 followers in 4 days or whatever for Canada.
Wow.
That'll happen again.
So cool.
But
Yeah,
it could have been the Florida run. It could be the next one I do. It's just don't quit for 15, 20 years.
Oh, man, I'm sure you inspired our nation, and hopefully you inspired somebody listening here on this show today.
hopefully.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So now we're gonna do 10 questions.
Okay.
10 questions.
Yes.
All
10
right.
questions.
On the spot here.
Right on the spot.
Okay.
These are really random.
Okay.
So
All right. Yeah. So they're super random. I'll start off, Matt.
All right,
and,
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
From your final post on your 99-day run, you cited Terry Fox as an inspiration for your journey.
Yeah.
Name an inspiring non-athlete you look up to.
My dad. It would have to be my dad.
Perfect answer.
He taught me.
Yep.
Like me and him are very similar, and he taught me to push my limits. He taught me everything I know is basically from him.
Yeah.
He's just, he had me when he was young and stuff, but I'm sure like when he's seeing me run across Canada, part of him is seeing himself.
Can you give me
Yeah.
an example of when, you remember growing up when he taught you how to push your limits?
Oh, I just remember going to hockey games and stuff, and it wouldn't matter if we won or lost. You just go as hard as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Like the most important thing in life is to just try hard. You can win, you can lose, whatever it is, but just as long as you give 100%,
Yeah.
we're good.
It's an awesome answer,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. All right, question number 2. So what do you value most in friendship?
I guess loyalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone that's by your side, no matter what kind of.
Drive a van.
Preferably with a license and/or camera.
Yeah. Van drivers. Yeah. The van thing's hard because it's like if I go do this again, I won't have my dad.
Yeah,
yes.
Because he can't, he'll get fired. He has to take more. Unless
That's
I
true,
get
yeah.
rich and could just hire him full time.
That's
which
true.
I'd love to do one day. But yeah, get loyalty, I guess, for a friend. But yeah you got to find.
You need to find a teacher.
Right. Yeah.
See, that's it right there. Find
a-
a teacher.
Okay,
Yeah.
teacher. If
And
any
you can-
teachers are
every
listening to
summer.
this and they want
Every
to
summer you could do something for 60 days, right?
Yeah. That's I never thought of that.
Ready for another super deep question?
Let's do it.
If your life was a movie, what would you call it?
I'm still standing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
So
you
musical.
know that Elton John,
Elton John,
song?
yeah, I know the song,
We,
yeah.
we listen to that a bunch across Canada. I'm still standing, kind of.
Great song.
All the crazy stuff, and I'm still standing. So
Perfect.
yeah,
Awesome.
So, question number 4. So, longest distance ran without a break.
250. Well, I did 250 kilometers. Now, like without a break, I mean, I'm taking little 5-10 minute breaks here and there, but
Yeah.
basically continuous. Yeah,
250.
Yeah, and it was in a snowstorm. You know, the Halifax Commons. I ran laps of the Commons.
You ran 250 in a snowstorm.
Dressed up like Santa Claus, yeah. We raised like $8,000 for Ronald McDonald House. It was
Oh my
around Christmas.
God.
I called it the Ho Ho 250K.
That's amazing.
44 hours,
Wow.
and it started. It was like minus 20
So you
snowstorm.
took like tiny breaks and stuff and just
just
kept-
little breaks here and there, but like wow, I didn't stop until the objective was 250 kilometers, 44 hours. It took me.
Amazing.
All right. Question. No, it's you, isn't it?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What was your favorite TV show growing up as a kid? Like cartoon. Now think cartoon or something easy or simple on the television.
TV show as a kid.
Yeah. You can't remember anything like
Man, I don't even know.
any age, 10, 12? Like, did you like...
Sonic the Hedgehog.
yeah, but
I think I kind of just like.
That's a good one.
I watched a lot of.
I was way too slow on that.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
It took me like a whole
Wearing
minute.
blue and everything.
I was like, oh, wait, yeah, he's really fast, that guy. That hedgehog.
I don't know. I watched a lot of hockey when I was a kid. Maybe like Hockey Night in Canada.
Hockey?
Does that count?
Gosh, yeah, was there a cartoon or something you liked?
I
Like,
don't know if I really watched.
were you a
many-
Batman guy?
I like Batman now. I don't know if I liked it when I was a kid though.
Really?
Maybe Spider-Man or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, no, that's fine, yeah.
Hockey Night in Canada. I remember watching that every Saturday.
All right. Question number 6. If you could invent a new holiday, what would it be and why?
Oof, what would it be and why? I'd invent a holiday where you only get the holiday if you do some sort of physical activity.
Oh.
Hey,
All right.
so workout day.
Maybe you got to do like imagine say there's a race or something, and if you go do it, you get the holiday. I think that'd be cool.
National Leg Day, because everybody hates Leg Day, right? So there you go.
Yeah, it'd get people moving, you know. I don't know how you could do that. I don't know how possible that would be. But like imagine the Blue Nose Marathon, but it was on a Wednesday, and you got the day off work if you actually went and did it. It would get people active.
Okay, I like
No,
it.
I mean I don't know. That's
Cool.
hypothetical.
No, that's great.
All right, finish the song lyric. I'm going to move your...
Body.
Sure, yeah, that's great. Yeah, you could be whatever you want. You passed. Yeah.
Question number 8. So I know we talked a little bit that you were into some sweets and stuff like that as you ran across the country and everything.
Cotton candy ice cream.
Cotton candy ice cream. So I think you just answered what I was just about to say, but I was going to ask you, what was your favorite ice cream?
Cotton candy.
Cotton candy.
I had a lot of ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like my every time my dad would go to like a gas station, he'd get me an ice cream bar. Anytime we went by like a place, he'd get me cotton candy ice cream. My birthday, I got a Treats pizza cake from DQ.
Okay.
That was good.
Treats pizzas are good.
Man, I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
They're delicious.
They're so good.
I think we were in Regina for my birthday.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
Man, Treats pizza's good.
You still make those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, wow.
Hopefully they do. I mean, I had it last birthday. So.
Number 9 to you.
I mean, you kind of answered this earlier. So where do you want to be in 10 years? Obviously, you're going to have a lot more to accomplish.
Yeah, I just want to be inspirational to people.
Yeah.
I'd probably love to have some records in the ultra running community. Just inspire people, man, motivate, have more followers. Really, like the more people that follow me, the more people's lives I can change.
Yep.
So,
Awesome. It's awesome.
More of the same, but just bigger.
Yeah.
Great answer.
Question number 10, that's the one that we ask every single person who comes on the show. So, what is one piece of advice that was given to you that you'd like to give to us?
One piece of advice that was given to me. Well, this might be generic, but I mean, like, life's pretty short, and a lot of people just do stuff that they don't like. Like, have a job they don't like, or they're in relationships, or they're friends. Like, just do what makes you happy. Just go out and push your limits. I mean, I'd hate to be 70 years old and be like, oh, man, I never ran across Canada because I had to keep working construction.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, don't be afraid to take risks. But, yeah, like a lot of people just get stuck in the rat race and just hate their lives.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like I'd rather try to do this and go completely broke or whatever. It doesn't really matter to me because I'll have the memories. I'll know I'm helping people. So just find what you
You
like.
can always go get a job,
That's
right?
the thing.
Like, really,
Yeah.
like, honestly.
So
There's another book, and listening to you today really inspired me to bring this up. This book was suggested to me by Toucan, a previous guest on our show. He's completely in a different world. He's in an AI startup world.
AI?
Yeah. He's starting up a new business. A very successful entrepreneur here in Halifax. One of the books he recommended to us was The Last Lecture by Randy Pausch.
Okay. Last lecture.
Yeah. I mean, hearing your story, and this is a guy who wrote a story when he realized he was going to die, right? And he was a professor, and a very great one, right?
Yeah.
And he worked, I guess he worked more in kind of a digital world, right? But he was inspired by Walt Disney and a university professor. And one of the coolest books I ever heard.
I'll have to
and
read
read. And I think you'll totally love it. You can read it, or you can listen to it on Spotify.
Yeah.
And it's only 6 hours. 6
I'll
hours.
listen to it. I love listening to stuff when I run.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So anyway,
I'll have to
I
listen to
recommend that one to you, man.
Okay.
Just keep inspiring you because I think you're brilliant.
I love inspirational stories, man.
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Love what you're doing, man. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Thank
This is
you for
awesome.
coming on the podcast.
I'll be back on in 10 years, and hopefully
hope
I'll have
so.
1 million followers and have inspired a lot of people.
Sooner than that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
I'll definitely not ran across the country by then.
Maybe you'll drive the van.
Then I could do. Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Thank you for listening to The Afternoon Pint. We are an independent podcast and we need your support. Please take a moment to hit that like, follow, and share button. Email us if you have an idea or suggestion for the show. Please send your feedback. We'd love to hear from you.